at the ceremony, and that was how this new sheriff's office benefits the public and makes a better report, better relationship between the public and law enforcement. And I thought those were very good remarks of her. So that's why I wanted to invite her as well. So perhaps we'll have her on at another time.
That'd be great. Yeah, she's fantastic and supports us and the whole county very well. Um, yeah, that would be great to have her on the show. She could bring a great aspect to things.
Absolutely. I think it will. And if I could ask you something about that, when I walk through the front door, on the right hand side as you walk in, there's 5 or 6 windows. Is that for customer service?
That's the front desk now. So whenever somebody comes in, they just look to the right and there will be a person or persons there ready to take care of whatever needs they
All
have.
right, that's good. So essentially, that's the front desk, but it could be a number of people
Right,
handling various things for the sheriff's office
right,
and the public.
right. Our clerk staff work in that whole general area behind the glass. And so there's an assortment of people there to take care of the needs.
And you know what I thought about while they're looking at everything? I see it is a better atmosphere for the public rather than the courthouse because, a lot of people have such a feeling when they have to report to a courthouse rather than like a regular office building or something.
Right. And one of the biggest things I think that will be of benefit to the citizens is not having to park downtown around the courthouse. That was always a nightmare for
Yeah,
everyone. And now we're easy in, easy out, great parking right there at the front door. So it's a great
yeah, and I never thought about that. That does free up a lot of issues as far as parking is concerned because if if you have to park down by the courthouse, it's quite a task.
Yes, sir. Yes, it is. And I'm glad not to be doing that every day and happy the citizens who need us won't have to do that to come in for reports or permits or whatever they need.
Yeah. And I did have another thing for you. I know this happened outside of the Pitt County jurisdiction, but since this particular city or town is located where it's located, it has a border which borders Pitt County and Lenore County, and that is Kinston. There was a man arrested after a gun found during home check by his probation officer. He's been held in the Kinston and Lenore County jail. So I was going to ask you about that, but I think I'll be answering my own question. What does it have to do with Pitt County? Absolutely nothing, because although it, Kinston borders Pitt County and Lenore County, it actually happened on the Lenore County side, which is why he's been detained in the Lenore County jail. Is that correct, Sarge?
That would be correct. But every opportunity to remove an illegal firearm or a dangerous person off the streets, it's a blessing, whether it's in Pitt or Lenore or Martin or anyone around us. It's a whole regional safety kind of thing. Because bad guys, criminals, they do travel. We arrest plenty from here. We arrest plenty from other places as well.
Yeah, and with that being mentioned, there was another incident. A teen brought a loaded gun to school, then shot a video holding it. North Carolina sheriff says this was by the News Observer, which is probably like around the Raleigh area or something like that. But one thing it mentioned in there, and I underlined it, or actually I highlighted it, guns being stolen from unlocked cars. Because I know Sarge have mentioned that a couple times on the previous shows. I also highlighted a part that says gun theft statistics are likely undercounts. The News Observer reported in 2022 because North Carolina, like many states, does not require gun owners to report them.
Right. And all of those are good points. I'll start off with a student having a firearm. That is horrifying.
I know.
We've seen it over and over again how instances of shootings on campuses will happen, and it's tragic. And One thing I'm very proud of the school system here. I'm very proud of our school resource officers and those from the police department serving Pitt County, that they're being very aggressive when it needs to be, and keeping the schools safe. In reading reports, I'm seeing a lot of teamwork, the SROs working with counselors, working with other mental health professionals, working with the school administrations, and really taking a big team approach to threat management. And I think it's making a huge difference. I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. I would put our SROs in this county against anyone, anywhere in the world.
And based upon what I have seen, being a volunteer with the sheriff's office and working with some of the SROs and sending them out and doing their duty, although I haven't seen them in action at a particular school, but I know what they do. And you're right, the Pitt County Sheriff's Office, CROs, are quite a unique bunch.
They are. They're a very busy bunch. Matter of fact, while you were talking, I just got a text message from one of our SROs wanting to inquire about a case. So they are very busy. They multitask. Around the clock, you'll see them in the evenings at ball games and other events, and they are truly invested in those children and their futures and their safety and their families, and they become a part of the family there at the schools.
That's good. Yeah, I know a lot of them, like we were talking the last show, are they going to be required to undergo CIT training?
Well, we send all of our deputies through CIT training, and that's real important. I thoroughly enjoyed my week of CIT. I may even do a refresher one of these days. I think it makes a big difference to help understand the bigger picture, which our SROs really have a lot of training and work to understand that bigger picture and taking care of the kids and mentoring them and understanding the things that they're going through at home and how it impacts them at school to try to mitigate these problems.
I hope you do decide to have a refresher, because if it's at Pitt Community and I'm a guest speaker, I can't wait to see you over there. We're going to have fun that day,
Always, I know we would.
because my next speaking engagement for CIT at Pitt Community will be on the 27th.
Excellent.
So that's a couple of weeks.
I may even drop in and visit.
Come on by. I'm pretty sure Brian Lazar would love it. I'll be there on the 27th from, I think, 1:30 to 2:30.
They bring out so many important topics during CIT, that things that we're not trained on initially, or maybe not trained on in depth, and helps us to be more empathetic and to understand that there are other avenues besides jail to really help these people. And that's the reason we're here. You know, we're to serve, we're to protect, we're to help these people. And the answer may not be to lock them up. Let's help them get through this crisis and
Yeah.
be a better person.
Because that's exactly what they might need. They might need help instead of just being locked down.
Right.
I see Muhammad over there researching something or something. You have anything at this time?
Just searching up that there's too many calls of phony healthcare benefits. Recently, I got two calls of healthcare benefits, but that's just a scam. Different numbers, but I'm not buying it.
You don't know how many calls I got concerning the same thing. And now what I do, if the phone number is out of my contact, I just won't answer it. I'll let it go to voicemail. Once I review the voicemail and find out who was, I'll go back to the number that they called from and just block it.
Not to mention, there's also times that they have their scammers are kind of different this time. You see, this time they change their accent to sound more American, not some other Indian or anything like that. They make it sound legit, but I told them I'm not buying it. So I just hung up and blocked him. Even
Yeah,
even if I did that, there's another number called in, the same thing. It wouldn't stop.
because there's another issue concerning that. They usually start off by saying, well, Mr. Johnson, first I have to advise you that the call is being recorded. And I said, well, I have to advise you, I don't wish to be recorded. So have a nice day. Or as soon as I say I don't wish to be recorded, they just hang up. I said, well, what is the whole idea about the call being recorded in the first place? They always say quality control. Well, what kind of quality are you trying to control? I just don't want to be recorded. And I say that because I know North Carolina is a one-party consent state. It only takes one party to agree to the ball call being recorded. So who's the one party? The person that's calling. And that's why I said, well, I know North Carolina is a one-party consent state. But I'm telling you, I don't wish to be recorded. And they just hang up the phone.
Hmm. Scammers are just not real. Scammers are starting to become annoying these days.
Yeah.
The other day I counted on my sheriff's office mobile phone, I got 15 scam calls in one day. It kept me busy just answering and hanging up. I'm scared not to answer my work phone in case it's something legitimate.
Yeah. And you know, your work cell phone has to have some security features or what they call a secure line. So I don't understand. I really don't understand that.
Not to mention, I keep getting scam calls while I was asleep, especially 4 or 5 in the morning.
I'm sorry, I'll quit doing that.
No, I mean, it was really annoying. It's just like this, really annoying. Give them rest. There are people sleeping. Give them the sleep they need.
Oh yeah, like sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was 4. I thought it was 3 o'clock. I apologize.
One thing I'm seeing a lot of people get now are text messages that are starting off with a name going, hey, Bob, are we still meeting for lunch tomorrow? And I
Oh,
just block them, and I wonder where they're going with these. I'm going to have to answer some to kind of dig into that and see what they're trying to do.
Not to
and
mention,
let me tell you, I got a text message from the Harris Walsh campaign. I did make a contribution. I'm sorry I did. Of course, I want her to win, but that's my personal preference. But I didn't expect to get text message after text message after text message constantly. I'm like, are you serious? I almost want to block the number, but I know it's coming from her campaign, so I don't want to block it. But enough is enough because, like I said, that's my personal preference if I decide to vote for her because I know the other party had a better chance at winning the bronze in female gymnastics. You know who the other party is, don't you?
I'm not gonna lie, but I actually used a video on TikTok. TikTok, that's some sort of scam likely call. If I get scam likely calls, I put up a video saying, "You have reached the scam likely, FBI for texting scam likely call. If you have called this number, your phone is being tracked as we speak." I use that to scare them off. That's one I use. Or two, I use something metal and put my phone on top, put it on top of my phone, and grab something metal and bang it, so they stop calling me.
I almost got the urge to have a voicemail that says, "Welcome, you have reached the Federal Bureau of Investigation." I said, but if I do that, I would be in violation of some federal laws probably. I would be impersonating a law enforcement officer. So I decided not to do that. Right, Sarge?
Good decision. Best to just hang up and block them.
Yeah, that's what I do now. Just hang up. If they leave a voice message, I'll listen to it and find out if somebody I didn't want to talk to, and I just go back to the number and block it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, as we're waiting for Chief Williams from Winterville PD to join us as well. So I'm going to make sure that the engineer have sent out the lead to Chief Williams, and we'll be reaching out to him momentarily. Sarge, how much time we have for him? Huh? 3.5 minutes, Sarge.
Oh, my goodness. Well, what can I say? We just finished up a coffee with a cop at Cooper's Cup in Winterville. Speaking of Winterville, it was a wonderful event and a great facility, nice people. baked goods and just thoroughly enjoyed it. We haven't announced our next one yet, but I'm expecting it to be next month. We'll put that out probably in the next week or so.
Yeah, and speaking of Coffee with a Cop, I was there. You were there. I also had the opportunity to meet one of the hosts that will be hosting one of the programs here on our Spanish station at the Spanish Christian Radio at 106.9 FM, and that was Vanessa, or Vanessa. So I had the opportunity to meet her. She's a very lovely lady. So she'll be on the Awesome Radio Spanish channel.
Fantastic. So it was a very productive event in many ways,
That coffee was sensational.
wasn't it? And the baked goods. Oh,
What was the name? They said it was brew something, beautiful, like beautiful, but beautiful.
I'd say keep up with our social media at the Sheriff's Office to see where we're headed next. We'll be announcing that pretty soon. And wherever it is, we'll have a good time.
And Sarge just mentioned the Sheriff's Office social media platform. It's just Pitt County Sheriff's Office are on multiple social media platforms, but I endure their Facebook page, and I think I'm a member or I have a shortcut for the Pitt County Sheriff's Office Facebook page on my Facebook page. That's how well I like it.
Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're on Facebook and X, what used to be Twitter, and
Yeah.
Instagram and LinkedIn, and you never know where we'll show up next.
But I like all the different posters on the Facebook page. There's posts for immediate releases, arrests, and all that kind of stuff. So I really like the Facebook page. Sometimes I'll download the picture or just save the picture to a document folder so I can go back to it later.
That sounds like a plan. And we're always posting, speaking of scams, the new scams going around and events coming up. There's always something to inform the public about.
And before we go out to the break, also like I found this on YouTube, the Pitt County Sheriff's Office 60 Days In.
Oh, yes.
That was a big series, right?
That was quite an experience.
60 days in. I want to be 60 days out.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Police Report First Responder Show. Keep it locked right here to 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU. We'll return shortly after this brief break.
Hello, my name is Daniel from Greenville. We appreciate you for listening to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU Radio in Greenville.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Police Report First Responders Show here on Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU, Christian Media with the spirit of excellence. I'm in the process of doing something right now, so I'm going to go back over to Sergeant Lee Darnell, Pitt County Sheriff's Office.
We already spoke some about the children in the schools, so I guess it'd be a good time to mention that this is Child Passenger Safety Week in North Carolina, and we're taking part in that initiative from the Governor's Highway Safety Program from September 16 through 22. So we're going to be doing extra education. We'll be stepping up enforcement. So make sure your children are in the proper seat, whether it's a seat belt or a booster seat or full child safety seat, whatever it may be, make sure that it's strapped in properly, the child is properly secured. We've got to take care of our kids. They depend on us for that. And there is a free child passenger safety seat checking station being held at the Winterville Fire Department on Railroad Street on September 20th. I believe that's Friday, I believe, from 1:30 until 4:30. Good opportunity to come by and learn and let them take a look at your car seat and how it's strapped in and make sure that everything's cool, that your child will be safe.
You said that was coming up.
That is on September 20th is the child check station at Winterville Fire Department, and they have one of those every month.
Yeah.
But this is Child Passenger Safety Week, a good time to focus on keeping our kiddos safe.
And that's with, what's her name again? From the Pitt County Safe Community Coalition and ECU.
Miss Walston?
Yeah, Ellen Walston.
Yes.
Thank you for saying that. I couldn't
She's
not remember her name.
amazing.
You know, I work with her on the traffic action team.
Ah,
I just couldn't get her name in my mind.
right.
Yeah, Miss Ellen Walston. She's with the Pitt County Safe Community Coalition and ECU, Injury Prevention. So she always does a good job for that, and as well as hot car during the summer. So like Sarge said, be looking out for the children's safety thing at Winterville Fire and Rescue.
Fantastic. Yeah, she's a great advocate for the community. It's really impressive how everybody comes together so well here, whether it's law enforcement or people like them with focusing on prevention, the state with Governor's Highway Safety, and even private entities. You know, I just had a meeting with a pastor right before this one to discuss some programs coming up and trying to get geared up for Christmas.
Yeah.
And, you know, we try to do a lot for the kids and for families at Christmas time. So people really come together here. The people of the Pitt County area are truly special. They're awesome, just like Awesome
Yeah.
Radio.
And what do they call that thing during Christmas? Cops on the roof.
Pops on a roof. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Matter of fact, it's already in planning. It's
Is
coming
it?
right back again. Going to get a lot of bicycles for the children.
Yeah, I know it comes quick. Now, we have about 6 minutes. While we waiting for Chief Williams to come on, let's Mohammed, Sergeant Darnell, and myself, let's talk about law enforcement warn public of multiple widespread scam attacks. The source of this particular document was courtesy WNCT.
Scammers are on the rise again across eastern North Carolina, and time many different types of people are being targeted. Official with the Pitt County Sheriff's Office said scammers are targeting the victims in numerous ways. Recently, they've seen it being done with concert tickets, people getting fake calls about missing jury duty, and calls saying they were going to jail. They said even the medical professionals are being scammed over their license. Very intelligent comment, and people are falling for this. It isn't just the population that's at the same as some may think they can get something overall. Sergeant Lee Darnell, that's at least what Lee Darnell told me. It's very well educated professionals. These criminals are they are good. They know those triggers to pull. They know how to get us upset, concerned, and to push us to where you have to do this right now. If you hang up, we're just going to come get you and put you in jail. It's scammers. You better stop what you're doing before I'm coming after you and beat your ass.
Wow. And you know, they do. When they call up, they get these people so upset so quickly and just push them to that edge of you have to handle it right now. I'm here to help you. You handle it now or you're going to go to jail. You know, you make that choice. And they get them so confused and upset. Next thing you know, a well-educated professional will give them $10,000. And I've seen far more than that, far more money than I have to give.
Yeah.
It's so sad. These scammers are attacking us in every way possible. Been seeing so many Taylor Swift ticket scams on Facebook lately, where they're saying, "Oh, I have 4 tickets to upcoming show in Las Vegas, and I can't make it. I'm just going to sell them at ticket price. It's not a markup. I just want somebody to go enjoy the show." And I started talking to one of them, just see what he'd say. And the profile said he was from Raleigh. I said, "Wonderful. I'll take them. I'll just meet you in Raleigh, give you the cash, and pick up the tickets." Silence. I was ghosted, never talked to me anymore. It wasn't real. And they're doing the same scam from concerts all over the country involving her and others. And they're getting money from desperate people who want to see the show without spending $4,000 a ticket. It's so sad.
I know I recall last year there was a campaign supposedly by Pepsi. No, not Pepsi, I'm sorry. I hate to mention the name, but Budweiser. And I thought about it and I looked at the email that the gentleman sent, plus I had text messages and phone calls from him. So I thought it was legitimate. I didn't have to send no money. I didn't have to do anything. He was going to send me a $3,500 check if I agreed to have like a campaign, what they call that car cover thing over my car to promote Bud. And I agreed to it. I did get the check in the mail. It says once I deposit the check, just give him a call back on how to proceed. I took that check to the bank. I noticed the teller look at me strange. "Mr. Johnson, there's something serious about this check." And she wrote a code on the top left-hand corner of the check. I guess the bank tellers all know what the code meant. She said, "We have seen this before. This is a scam." So I took the check back home, still in an envelope, didn't touch it. And I texted the guy, haven't heard a word from him since.
A lot of times the banks will catch those checks, but occasionally one will slip through. And who's stuck paying the bank back? You are, whether it's a criminal scam or not.
Yeah, we have about 60 seconds before we go to the next break. But now my curiosity is, what did that code actually mean that she wrote in the top left-hand corner? So if I took it to another bank, they would have knew automatically what it was. That's what I'm thinking.
That seems like a logical guess.
I said, yeah, she wrote that code on that corner for some reason or another. I haven't actually found out what it meant, but I'm assuming that's what it was. And I think everybody would agree with me, or else she wouldn't have wrote it up there. She said she had seen it before, and this was totally not a legitimate check. I just texted the guy back and told him what happened. I haven't heard a word from him since. Haven't got another text message or anything. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go to our break. We'll be back for our final 10 minutes, I think. This is Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 WECU.
Hello, my name is Tracy, and you're listening to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU Radio. Thank you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That did not take long at all. I think we are down to our final 10 minutes. 20 minutes, I'm sorry. That's right, we did to 20, 10, and 20. So I'm gonna go over to Muhammad if you have anything further.
I've been I keep getting calls or text saying FBI, but they're not really who they say they are. I could tell you the number, but the problem is that was no number. It was like an email address or something. Sergeant Darnell, have you ever seen anything like this before?
It's very frequent. They can spoof whatever number or email address they want to appear. Matter of fact, they can make it say Pitt County Sheriff's Office when you answer the telephone. And you're going to think, oh, I better take this. It's real.
Yeah. Another cell phone I had was spoofed. And I was able to contact the FCC and the FBI through the information that was supplied to me by my phone carrier at the time. And they were very, very concerned. And they helped me out a lot. Since then, I got rid of that phone, but they helped me out a lot, especially the FCC, because the cell phone issue would be a matter of the Federal Communications Commission, and they told me what to do, and they were the ones that actually told me that my phone was actually spoofed. So that was the FCC.
A friendly advice to everyone: if you got a text or a call from an FBI, just hang up and block it, because the FBI don't call or text people.
And if for some reason it really was the FBI, it'll be okay. They'll show up at your house. They'll
is
come
true.
in person wanting to chat. Anytime you're dealing with any of these kind of calls, a couple of important things to remember is, one, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It probably
They're
is.
not going to call and say, hey, this is the prize patrol and you've won a new car and $50,000. How can I get it to you? You're going to have to pay the tax. So go ahead and write me a check give me your numbers for the tax and we'll send it right over. No, it's too good to be true. They're trying to steal your money.
Yeah. The ones I like about that, I'll tell them all, if that's so true, to come on over and bring the stuff with you. And they never show up.
Never show up.
Or how about this, Muhammad? You'll call a number back, and you get this funny, fax machine noise. Not a doubt on anything. It just sounds like a fax machine is ringing. So you know that was scam.
Most likely. There are websites there you can track the numbers of who called you, but there's one catch. There's two catches. One, it costs you money, and two, how do we know if it really works? Besides, not everything works these days. Like, people try to search answers online. How do we know do they work? And they may cost money, but I don't do it because, one, I'm not wasting money, and two, I don't even know if it's legit. And think about it. Don't believe everything on the internet. It could be a scam, or like you see when you ask questions, you receive answers from AIs, right? But every time the answer changes every time you ask. the
Hold
same
on,
question.
Muhammad. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a caller calling in. Caller, you're live on the air on the Police Report Show.
Yes, how y'all doing today?
Good. Who's calling?
Yes, sir. I was just gonna call on and relate to what y'all were saying about the scam.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a call. Told me I had won a boat. And all I had to do was pay the tax. And I told them, I said, okay. I said, I don't mind paying the taxes. I said, but bring the boat right here in front of you park it in front of my door, and I'll write you a check for the taxes.
Right.
No, sir, it don't work like that. You have to pay the tax. No, if I want the boat, it's my boat. Bring me the boat. Before I get the boat, you'll have your money for your tax.
Yeah, that's right.
I said, other than that, I'm not sending you a dime.
I'm so thankful you
So,
made that
and
choice.
They hung up the phone. I haven't heard from them since.
Exactly. Like I was saying,
Yes, sir.
if I did win this stuff, then bring it over here. You got all my
Yeah,
other
bring it to me.
Yeah.
Bring it to me. That's right. But I just want to share that with you. I'm not going to take up your time.
I thank you so much, caller, for calling in for the
Blessing.
very important information. Thank you, caller.
That's what it's about right there. I'm glad people are listening and will call in with comments or questions. That's what it's about. If you're listening, something's on your mind, pick up that phone, give us a call.
I'm glad he did that because, like I said, if I supposedly won this stuff, you have my information. You have my phone number. You have this, you have that. Well, you should have my address, so bring it and drop it off. Then we'll handle everything. But then we don't hear nothing back from them. Then you know automatically that was a scam. The other thing I wanted to mention was I recently watched a live court program, TV program, and this gentleman claimed to be a lawyer. Supposedly, a driver almost hit him as he was walking through a parking lot. So the judge asked him, well, how did you obtain the defendant's or the plaintiff's home address his vehicle information, all that stuff. He says, well, he wrote down the plate number, and then he went to DMV, and they looked it up for him. I said, that's highly unlikely that they would do that. So even if he was a lawyer or not, he wouldn't even do that if he were an attorney, right, Sarge?
That's correct. Now, he could report it to law enforcement, who could look it up with a reason.
Yeah.
But don't just, you know,
Yeah, you just
can't just walk in and get it.
Exactly, which is what he claimed. I'm like, that's highly unlikely. I knew that. I bet that can't be true. And so the judge asked him, well, sir, how long have you been an attorney? He said, X amount of years. She said, well, what you have done, you should use them for your time more valuable to help people instead of trying to trace license plate numbers, all that stuff, which is illegal for you to do. You know, I just leaned back in my chair and laughed as hard as I could.
Anything on TV.
Yeah. You never know what you're, Muhammad.
I do have some questions like this. Sergeant Darnell, the possibility if someone impersonates an FBI, what are the how long would they be sentenced to jail?
That's a good question that I don't have an answer for. If they catch them and they're impersonating a federal agent, I'd say they'd probably go away for a long time, as they should.
Oh, they deserve it.
Absolutely.
Now, Muhammad, I have a question for you, Sergeant Darnell.
Proceed.
Mike's mom had 3 sons, and she named the sons, one of them Penny and one of them Nickel. So what was the third son's name?
Either a quarter or a dime.
Or I will just speak into it right now.
The third son was Mike.
Mike.
Remember I said
Oh.
Mike had three brothers, Penny, Nickel. The third one was Mike. Mike.
I think Dr. Johnson may be one of these scam artists around town. Keep an eye on him.
Here's another one for you. What is a letter carrier? Most people would respond, it's a postal service worker. I have a different definition and analogy. That's when a husband comes home from working all week, hard all week. He tells his wife, honey, I love you. I love all the stuff you're doing for the household. Go upstairs and pack all your bags. I'm taking you on the trip. The wife go upstairs and packed up so much stuff. The husband's like, let her carry it herself. That's let her carry it. You know, I'm just joking.
Oh my goodness. There's going to be extra prayers for you, Dr. Johnson. You need some help.
I need some help. I need Jesus.
Also, any of you who other than me, who else get text messages or calls about Microsoft support saying there's something wrong with my computer? Anyone else? Did you have any?
I've had several, and I tell them I don't use a Microsoft product, and they hang up.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked that because I just got an email this morning about Google Drive update or some kind of blah, blah, blah. I just put everything in my email Google folder and review it later because I'm not clicking on nothing until I'm absolutely sure that it came from Google.
I've also got a call from sometimes saying there's something wrong with my computer. I said don't bother because I don't bother wasting your time. You're not gonna fool me with your cheap scam. Besides, after all, you're not even who you say you are. You got that fake accent. It's not gonna get you anywhere except in jail.
Yeah, because you know what I'm concerned about that? Currently, I'm missing an entire folder of Awesome Radio documents. All my documents for Awesome Radio, it's just totally wiped off my computer. I don't know how it happened, when it happened. The whole entire folder does not exist. Everything else is still intact except for that one folder.
A friendly advice: if you're saving stuff to your files, be sure to save it in both the flash drive and Google Drive. If you just save in one, you might just lose the other. Think about it. Flash drive, it's portable, but sometimes it could wear out and all the stuff you had you can't get access to, or everything is erased.
All right, but here's the problem I have with that. So I did go and download a recovery software. And I scanned the computer. It did find the entire folder, but now it wants me to pay $80 to recover the folder.
Everything is costing money, and this is what's messed up in this economy.
Wow.
I'm like, $80. Why can't it be like $15 something? It's only a folder of documents. Why would you want $80? I might just need to recover that one folder. At least charge me $10, $15. But $80, come on. Anyway, we have 8 minutes remaining. We still haven't heard from Chief Williams from Winterville. We might have to get him on the next broadcast, but during this 8 minutes, I'll get the remainder of this time to Sergeant Darnell or Muhammad.
One thing I can throw out here is the Pitt County Fair supposed to open tonight, but because of standing water, they had to cancel tonight. It's going to open tomorrow at 4 instead. So just know that if you're going out to the fair, that the sheriff's office will be there in force, as always, to help keep it safe. There will also be private security there. There will be metal detecting. So no guns, no knives. If you are less than 18, come with a parent. Want to make sure you get in, and there's no room for violence, period. It's a
None.
family event, fun times, nobody getting hurt.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because as a volunteer with the Pitt County Sheriff's Office Citizen Patrol, I'll be on duty at the fair one night coming up soon. So now, since you mentioned that, and it starts tomorrow, I got to go home and check my calendar and see what it is that I'm on duty. And I'll be at the Lost and Found table and Children Lost table.
Awesome. And that's another great topic. Every time I've ever worked a night at the fair, we had a handful of lost children.
I know,
It's
I
so
remember, yeah.
common. I recommend if you go with your child, take a photo of them that night so we can see what they look like, what they're wearing, and that can be sent out to all the deputies working. Say, this child is lost, look for this child. Makes it so much easier than just
Yeah.
having a name and a description.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that because the first night I worked at Pitt County Fairground with the Sheriff's Office, a child was lost. And it took them about an hour to locate this child throughout the fair.
It is a busy place. It's easy to get separated, and next thing you know, they're on the other side of the complex, and everyone is frightened.
And you would not believe where they located this child. From where he was, where the helicopter tour thing is, they found him all the way over near the helicopter.
Oh, wow, gee. Way out from all the stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was no reason for the child to be near the helicopter by himself.
Oh, no. Scary, but it had a happy ending, and that's the good part.
Yeah, it did have a happy ending because one of the deputies spotted him and got him back to his parents.
Nice. And, everybody works together so that it's always a happy ending.
I know one thing I wanted to mention. Let me see if I can find the document. And I'll get Sergeant Darnell to look through this and bring it to everybody's attention. And this was in Winterville. Staff and bystanders uses CPR to save man at Wintergreen.
Oh, yeah. What a great article. I didn't even know that happened until I read it online. This is from the Daily Reflector, saying that staff members and bystanders at Wintergreen Primary School have been credited with saving the life of a man whose heart stopped as he waited outside the school last week. How amazing is that?
Yeah, that's
The
amazing.
man's identity hasn't been revealed, but he collapsed inside a vehicle while waiting with his wife to pick up a child from school. So a school nurse and PE teacher were able to resuscitate the man, who was then taken by ambulance to a local hospital. What a blessing. Starting early CPR, and I'm sure they have an AD there, as most schools do now, and that's so impactful.
Yeah.
Bringing someone back, those are heroes. something that we should all be prepared to do at some point, because you never know when we're going to be put in that situation. But what a blessing to go down at the right time at the right place, and I hope he completely recovers.
Yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, down the document I highlighted the parts where it said, I think one gentleman saw it on his Pitt County Pulse Point app that I have on my phone as well. And that it was sending out emergency signals as far as fire and rescue, accidents, anybody that might need CPR or something. I have the app on my phone. Not only would it send out the notification, but it also sent on a link where you click on the map. It'll show you the precise location and guide you to the location, just in case your assistance is needed.
You never know when you'll be shopping for groceries and pick up a loaf of bread and find out someone 2 aisles over had just collapsed. And that's pretty powerful with a free app like that you know you can make a difference and be right there.
Yeah, like I was telling you last year, I have it on my phone. I remember driving near Arlington and got the notification that somebody needed CPR, but I knew I wasn't certified, but I should have went anyway because, like Sarge said, any help is better than no help. So although I'm not certified, I know how to do CPR, and I should have went and aided that gentleman or that person in their time of need. So having considered that, that's what I would do from now on.
And there are a lot of opportunities out there to learn CPR, learn how to use an AED now that they're so prevalent out there. So take and look around with your fire department, with the community college, lots of community groups. They'll offer free classes like that.
Yeah,
Keep an eye out.
They even teach you in the gym PE class in these schools.
There you go.
yeah.
Start them early.
Maybe I'll reach out to the Red Cross again to see if they have a upcoming certification here in Pitt County.
Sound like a plan. I'm getting
Sounds
up
like a
in years now, and I may need you there, Glenn.
I'm getting up there too. This coming April, I'll be 65. I know I got a baby face, but I'm not that young.
You don't look a day over 80, my friend.
Can I ask you just a question, Sarge?
You can.
Out of all the movies you watched, have you ever seen a young Morgan Freeman?
Oh, no, he was old when I was born,
He,
but
You-
amazing just the same.
all right, we have 1 minute to go. No disrespect to Morgan Freeman. I just want to say that as a punchline, as a joke. But I have yet to see a young Morgan Freeman. I have seen other actors in their young age photos, but never Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman got to be 199.
And
You was old when you were old.
speaking of actors, I have to say it.
All right,
we
that
have
was just a
lost
joke.
Darth Vader's voice.
That was just a joke. I want to thank my guests for being here today, Muhammad Enab and Sergeant Lee Darnell. Unfortunately, we didn't hear from Chief Williams, so perhaps we'll have him next month on the Police Report, First Responder Show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Police Report, First Responder Show, here on Awesome Radio, WECU, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM. So long.